Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of Moohead Radio. A little bit early today because I have a life too. Joining me on the program today is the Moose in England and
Booze.
Steven.
I'm right
Uh,
here.
yeah, you're in Texas still?
Still am.
Still in I'm sorry. I was hoping things had gotten better for you. I'm joking, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Today will be an interesting program because you've heard the Screaming Act and you've heard the Vulgarity Act. And if you've been listening to this program long enough, you've seen me fall out of my chair when I was screaming and yelling about the Cleveland Browns, or, this is different. This is different today. I've taken a bunch of medication. No, that's not true. I want to talk about a few things in a very sensible way. And I am going to stand on my record today and why I get so distraught when other broadcasters, if you're, or maybe they're just broad chasers, I don't know, are on YouTube and on the internet and are just stirring up dirt, and they have no real good reason for even having a program, except they think they have to draw attention to themselves. Hi, Tony. How you doing?
Ah.
Uh, Today, I'm starting with a person I've only just been seeing things from recently, although Anthony Lima, or, he has been on the radio for a period of time. He's part of a 1-2 thing and all that, two-man action and publications. And he has been dishing the dirt on Shedeur Sanders for weeks now. He has been rude. He's been obnoxious. He's been forceful. And it's just very typical of what social media has become. And I want to read this to you. This is from Sports Boy Tony, not you, Calf. We want to make sure this is. And he says, so every player in the league is going to use Shedeur's signature celebration against him? Now, I said on the post-game show that it was a sad moment watching a 1-11 team do that, but I thought it was classless because it's like you're 1-11 and you're beating a rookie quarterback who's only played 2 games, basically, and this is his third. And he had no practice, he had no reps or nothing. I mean, what's the point of doing that? But what's interesting are the responses. Here's the first response. I mean, he's acting like he's the best quarterback in the league. It's corny as shit, and they are mocking his tomfoolery. Next person. Shows that Shedeur and the hype around him isn't respected around the league. Maybe the problem, next one, maybe the problem here is rookies who have done nothing in the league having a signature celebration in the first place. Now, none of these people, mind you, were saying anything about Joe Burrow and his little act, right? But it's different now. So, another person, well, he won't be using it much. And it's all this, and that is their following. And I realize that the only reason that program exists are for people who hate Shedeur, and that's why Sports Boy Tony keeps hating on the guy. But something interesting happened on one of their morning posts, and suddenly Sports Boy Tony was saying some good things about Shedeur. And it's like, that's interesting. What's up with that? And then this, which is par for the course. What happened to my article? My article got eaten up. I'll just put it up a second time. By golly, this is what broke today, and I'm sure you're all...
Damn, I was all ready for the dramatic pause and everything.
Yeah, and so was I. But unfortunately, no. All right, here we go. Headline: Browns say Shedeur Sanders will be quarterback for the rest of the season. Any way the wind blows doesn't really matter. I mean, these people are owned lock, stock, and barrel by the organization. So here's a guy who's had nothing but crap to say about a young guy who's just trying to make his way in the league. And as soon as he gets word, well, Shadeur's going to start the rest of the season and you better knock this off because it's going to piss the organization off, he starts saying nicer things. I have a different perspective, and I understand, adjacent sports journalists need the Browns to be bad. To them, it's good business. And I understand all about business. And I understand that if we were talking about sitcoms or whatever, that there would be a niche for different programming in television. I get that. But to start bonfires for the sake of starting bonfires doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Here is what Kevin Stefanski said today about Shedeur. Quote, I think Sanders has constantly and consistently gotten better in each one of these games and how he's approached the game. He's been working very hard, so I feel good about where his development is heading. He knows there are always going to be plays that he can be better at and those types of things, but he's very intentional about getting better each and every game he's out there. Does that sound like he's talking about the same Shedeur that he was dealing with before?
Absolutely not. It sounds like stuff that we've been saying now.
Yeah, but I mean, R. Jones is asking me, if Mary Kay Cabbagehead or Stefanski, if one had to go, I would make them a package deal and the devil would be waiting for them both. I think that they're bad for the industries that they're in because it is not a good reflection. And I'm going to talk about Stefanski in just a moment. But the same guy who's been working and never got a rep, didn't even get so much as a first string rep, didn't even get a look-see. Now suddenly he's looking better. And he's a hard worker. Why?
Why is it?
Well, you don't even have an idea, do you? Why is Shedeur remaining the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns for the final 4 games of the season, besides the fact that it is actually the right thing to do? But why now? He already won a game. Why, in a loss to a 1-11 team, why now? Yeah, I've stumped the panel.
For the
I
clout.
would assume it would be the fan base would
clout.
give them would put pressure on the organization if they were to bench him.
Today, I'm going to tell you that Kevin Stefanski is finished as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Yay. Woo.
I am quite positive that he's done. And the reason is he is talking off a talking sheet that he's been told to talk off. And this decision was not Kevin's, which he seems to think everything is his decision. This was not his decision. This came from higher up.
Absolutely.
And, we can guess where it came from. But if I believe Barry and Haslam are joined at the hip, all right, I think Barry's his money guy, and he's also the general manager of the team. And I think those two guys work together. I think Stefanski was an agreed upon coach by both of those men. But now Stefanski has no defense for what he's doing except what he did in his press conference, and I'll get to that in just a moment. It's almost ridiculous to have to sit here and say, God, they just named him the quarterback. And what do you know? Sports boy Tony is starting to say nice things about him. You know, they're putting this shit out to their media people. And you should have heard the questions that Mary Kay Cabbage had started asking of Kevin Stefanski. They got positively aggressive with him. They interrupted him.
No way.
Absolutely.
Seriously?
And, let's go to Kevin's press conference post-game interview. All right. And I want to make sure that I do this correctly. Let's see. I'm just taking my sweet time. All right, we're sharing this. Bingo. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Where is it? Why isn't it showing? I'm going to go out this way and no. Boy, they've changed the studio again. These people. Who are these people? All right, we'll try this. It's saying stop screen, but I can't see it anywhere. Oh, my goodness.
Do you want me to come up with a StreamYard conspiracy theory for you?
Yeah, right.
They want to stop Moohead's 40 followers from watching this.
God almighty.
Yeah.
They're stacking more things vertically now in the studio, so it was hidden below you guys. All right. So just listen to a little bit of this, and I'm just going to shut up. Here we go.
What was supposed to happen on that last 2-point conversion?
Yeah, not going to get into all the specifics, Jeff, but obviously did not go as we thought it would.
Did you make that call or did Tommy?
Yeah, I make every call. Why
would you take him off?
Yeah, it's a 2-point play. Didn't come through on our first 2-point play. Got to the second 2-point play. We didn't come through, but that's on me.
Was that play call yours or Tommy's?
I'm responsible for all of it.
Kevin, on the first one, just I guess what prompted wanting to go forward in that scenario?
Yeah, it's a scenario that we talk about a lot. That's something that when you're down 14, feel good about the decision there. Didn't come through.
You mentioned the run defense. What did you see as being the biggest issue?
Yeah, we have to look at it. That's not what we're built to do. It's not what we're about. We'll look at all of it again. It's things that we'll make sure we point it out and fix it. But give them credit. But that's something that we hang our hat on.
Kevin, another special teams blunder. How do you keep believing in Bubba?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that type of stuff, Jeff. We have to play better. We have to coach better. But that's just the bottom line.
Ethan, was it an Achilles?
Yes. You don't know till you get the testing, but didn't look good.
And said concussion?
Yes.
Kevin, is this the kind of game where, just how do you explain all of the mistakes just across the board from so many different?
You're looking at him, honey.
Against a 1-11 football team.
Yeah, I think you go into any game versus anybody, Mary Kay, you have to play your best. You have to execute in the time when it's time to execute. It's our job as coaches to put our guys in position, and we came up short, bottom line.
Is the reason you didn't use Shador on the 2-point play was because he fumbled the first one?
No.
How soon did you know that you were going to go Wildcat for that 2-point?
There we go.
Yeah, it was, during the week, you talk about 2-point plays in total, plays that you like in those moments. And obviously the first one, we didn't get off exactly how we wanted to. The second one didn't get off how we wanted to.
But as the drive was going down, you already had in your mind that you were going to that specific play.
Yes.
All right. Well, I've never heard rapid fire questioning of this guy
That
before.
was very impolite on their part for them.
They just and they're like hungry lions.
Yeah,
Me next, me next, me next.
It is. It's like like we've said, the hyenas are circling him, ready to bite off to kill. You know.
Yeah, it's
It's
what
like
a-
they almost wanted to ask him the right questions, so they kind of like reworded it a little bit.
yeah, and the
Exactly.
answers, the answer to the question, and it's very interesting. To me anyway, it might not be interesting to the viewers. The question of, I thought Tommy Reese was calling the plays.
Oh yeah, that sort of got skated over, didn't it?
Well, if you want to go back and listen to what he said,
he says it's all him.
it's all him.
It's all
Now,
him. He
so
said
how
that.
can that be?
How
So
can that be?
because we're splitting hairs. Here's how this works and how Kevin Stefanski made a bold narcissistic statement when he's dead meat in front of the journalists saying, it's all me, baby. It's all me.
It's all me.
Yeah. Spread your legs, Mary Kay, and take all of me.
All
Won't
of
you
me.
take all of me? Yeah.
But Mr.
Great
Muet, it
song.
seems like when he says it's all me, it's all on me. He doesn't say it like it's my fault. Just like, well, I made the call. It is what it is. You know, you don't like it, go watch
He
something else.
said, I am music and I call the plays. This guy,
I write the songs, man.
yeah, this guy is
I'm playing the
standing
violin.
in front of journalists and saying, and the question was, did Tommy call that or did you? He goes, and he basically tells us that he calls them all.
He calls them all. That's what he said.
Now, how can that be after what they've told us about Tommy Reese? And the answer is this. Oh my God. Kevin has a playbook that is assembled during the week. That playbook contains all the plays that could possibly be run. It is assembled by Kevin Stefanski, not by Tommy Reese. So do not ever get the opinion or the feeling that Tommy Reese has created any of the havoc you're seeing on the field. And it's going to hurt Tommy Reese because any new head coach is not going to want to hold on to the old guy from the other one. So, but the problem is he's not calling the plays. And what's obvious as he talks further in the press conference is that minutes before the whole thing happened with the Wildcat situation, the first time the fumble, and then the second time, he knew well in advance, several minutes before, as they were moving down the field, that was the play that was going to get called. Tommy Reese had no say in it. And you want to know why? Because Tommy Reese's job is being a yes man, and it's the same thing as Dorsey. The same exact thing. They call him an offensive coordinator, and it's bullshit. He does not do anything but select plays that are already in this published playbook that was created by Kevin Stefanski, and he can be overruled in the middle of a game and interrupted in the headset and say, this is what we're doing on the goal line.
Yeah.
All Tommy Reese did was green light the playbook. And this is what has come out from multiple sources that I have spoken to. That's how this worked all along. The reason this looked all so familiar to us is because it's been Kevin all along.
Yeah.
Tommy Reese has, and same thing with Dorsey, nothing. All they did with Dorsey is they said, all right, well, we got, we went ahead and we blew our load on well, that's not a good expression to use with Deshaun Watson. I'll try again. We used all of our resources to get Deshaun Watson. And so we had to start throwing downfield. So Kevin's playbook included some of that, long snap kind of shotgun kind of stuff. He puts together the book. He is music and he writes the songs. And all the offensive coordinator can do is pick from a list of bad fucking plays. Now, the reason I want to talk about why it pisses me off that people on the internet are doing what they're doing is because there's I want to I'm going to bring something up here, and I've never done this on program before.
Oh, don't bring it up.
He
just threw up on Dean Wormer.
0.0. All of the podcasts of the past on Moohead Radio that are, when I say recent vintage, I mean all the way back, like 2015. I mean, we're talking about the last 10 years, are on YouTube. You can go back and you can hear what I said and when I said it and how I said it. And I want to explain to people, Mr. Moohead is a caricature. And I've said this before, and he bites the hand that feeds him, and he's outspoken and he's foul-mouthed. All right. The bottom line is that it gets lost in the shuffle what I have said for many years. So this is what I dug out for you folks, and we're going to share this. This is a Moohead Radio broadcast streamed live on January 4th, 2022. It's 3 years ago, more than 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago at this point. And we're going to, let's see if I can share this with y'all. And where is it now? You see, this is malfunctioning. There we go. All right. You might recognize me. The name of the program, yes, if you're seeing the name of the program, I call bullshit on Kevin Stefanski, and this was almost 4 years ago, and I've carved this out for you. Here we go. Here's what Baker Mayfield said. Truth. I mean, sometimes when I can see them blatantly just waiting for a pass to put their hands up, I can kind of change my arm angle. There are a few times that I had to put the ball a little behind these guys to get it around them. But some of them, these are timing throws. I have to be on time, put the ball in the right place and let it fly. And so a lot of those were due to that. Kevin Stefanski asked the same question. What was with all those batted passes? Stefanski's response. Yeah, they batted a bunch of balls. It's one of those things you got to, as a quarterback, you got to always be thinking about your eyes and those type of things. And then if the guys jump, offensive line-wise, we got to make sure that we keep their hands down and hit them when they jump up and that sort of thing. But they just seem to make a few plays there. I want to ask a real simple question. Everything that Kevin Stefanski does seems to be figured out on a slide rule, and Baker Mayfield is 100% right that these are timing throws. If you taped or recorded the game on a DVR, go back and look. The balls that were batted down by TJ Watt and the other guy on the other side, Cam Hayward, there were balls that were being thrown to the outside. The receivers were open, but they had to be thrown at a specific time. You throw an out pattern late, it's a pick six. You got to throw the ball when the man flashes. It's a timing thing. 100% a timing thing. People were complaining, why didn't Watt get called for taunting when he was laughing at and pointing at Baker Mayfield? Because what he was saying was, I know that play. I've seen it a million times on film. You run the same play over and over again. When I see that formation lined up, I know it's going to be a throw to the outside. And so rather than rush the passer and watch the game film, folks, I take 2 steps backwards and stare at the quarterback, wait for him to throw the ball in my general direction, jump up and bat it down. Now, how does he know not to rush the quarterback? Because he's so sure it's going to be a 3-step drop predicated on the lineup that's on the field, the film that he's already watched. He knows the fucking play before it's even run. That was 2022. If you have an interest, I have just put that up, the link in the chat room, and you can check that program. There's a lot more information in that program. It is one of the most watched Moohead radio programs because people got the misconception that I was anti-Baker Mayfield. And nothing could have been further from the truth. My feeling at the time was, do I think he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback? Nah, I don't think we can say that. I mean, do we know how good he can be? No, we really can't say that either. But what we can say is that you got to play to the strengths of who your quarterback is. And if you go ahead and throw a screen pass offense with Shedeur, you're missing out on what he does best, which is to throw the ball downfield. And that's exactly what happened to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, who had a rough go of it yesterday, God only knows, and he's turned out to be pretty much a 500 quarterback in the NFL. But he has big games, and he has games where he throws for up to 400 yards because he's a downfield thrower. He's like Matthew Stafford was. You can just get, down the field, Jim Kelly, bombs away, Dan Marino, bombs away. That's the kind of guy Shedeur is as well. But if you're running the same playbook and the same plays as little Dylan Gabriel had, that's not using Shedeur to, his best usage. So, all of this talk about what happened to Baker Mayfield, is he was Stefanski'd out of town.
Correct.
I mean, he was being misused. And he became a vastly under 500 quarterback instead of getting wide receivers and being able to play in an environment that at least let him do what he does best.
In fact, he was so tainted that he had to go to 3 different organizations to finally find a home that knew how to use him properly and he could get his head around so that he could be a productive quarterback again, like he first was when he first came into the league. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And here's Mary Kay Cabot's headline. Are you ready for this?
Oh, God.
Shedeur Sanders' gutsy 364-yard 4 TD performance wasted in a mistake-filled loss to the Titans. You're going to give Shedeur credit now? You dumb bitch.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
You're right.
You want to climb on the bandwagon now that management has said that this guy is going to be the starter for the next 4 games, and there's a real possibility he could be the starting quarterback next season.
Correct.
So you're falling right in the line. This isn't a free press. And the thing is that a lot of you folks are paying for a paywall over there, and you're paying them along with Jimmy Haslam to say whatever it is they're saying. And the same thing is true with Sports Boy Tony. He's shit. He's not good enough. He hasn't proven himself. This is a guy, Shedeur, who he's living off of his father's identity. All of these things that Sports Boy Tony has been saying week after week after week since they drafted him. And now all of a sudden he's becoming more amenable. So, no, that was an old show of me, Ron.
Oh, he probably came here at 10 o'clock thinking, or 5 o'clock thinking it was.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
No, it started
a
at
half hour
4:30.
earlier.
Yeah. So again, you can't believe anything you see on Cleveland.com. You can't believe anything that you're hearing on 92.3. They're just arguments to stir up dirt. I try to be as balanced as I can. And when I'm wrong about something, I will tell you I'm really wrong about something.
Well, I'll slightly disagree with you. Can't believe anything on Cleveland. What you can do is you can believe the exact opposite of what they say, because you're being played. It's like you might as well read Pravda from 1977. You'd get more facts from there than you would from Cleveland.com if you take them seriously. So,
now, do you want to know how I know that Stefanski's gone?
how do you know this? Because that is a concern of mine. I have the odd feeling still that he's going to somehow stick around, but how do you know?
The Orange and Brown podcast. All right,
Okay.
I've talked about this too, and that is another wing, and you know
Another
Ashley,
wing of the propaganda machine.
right? Ashley Bastock and Mary Kay Cabot, and I don't know what the guy's name is. But the Orange and Brown Talk podcast is what they refer to themselves as. I'm going to read this, and you're just going to fall over.
Okay.
Even Shadur Sanders' impressive 364-yard, 4-touchdown performance couldn't mask the organizational failure that was the Browns' 31-29 loss to the 1-11 Titans. As the Orange and Brown Talk podcast crew dissected the defeat, a sobering reality emerged. This game might be remembered as the tipping point in Kevin Stefanski's tenure as head coach.
He's been doing this for fucking years.
Let the walls come tumbling down. Let the walls. Yeah.
It's like you've got one of these levees in New Orleans, and there's like a gentle drip. And there's a gentle drip. And then suddenly a hurricane comes by and the whole wall falls over. And then you wonder, like, well, maybe if we had fixed that leak when we first noticed it, the levee wouldn't have fallen over in the hurricane.
Now, here's the quote from Mary Kay Cabbagehead. And you'll understand why I have no respect for her and why Mr. Moohead constantly refers to her in vulgar terms. Because I think you have a responsibility to tell the truth. If you're going to do this, and I'm never going to charge for this stupid program, but I'm going to tell you what I think the truth is. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to say, "Ooh, I whiffed on that one." And I'll just say, this is my opinion. And it's my opinion that Kevin Stefanski is going to be let go.
Okay.
But these are all the clues I'm getting. Here's the quote from Mary Kay Cabbagehead. If the Browns do decide to part ways with Kevin Stefanski, I think they're going to look back to this game and they're going to see all the mistakes that happened in this football game, and they will use this as a case against him. She said bluntly during the podcast.
Bluntly? Wow. She's never been blunt before, unless she's
she might be smoking blunts, but I
company line. Yeah.
Wow. It's the loss featured a perfect storm of coaching and special team failures. Now, this is the first time that we're hearing.
They've never said that.
Nope.
They've never said that. And
nope.
There's been literally 24 games where you could say that, going all the way back to 2020, 2019.
Oh, by the way, hi, Ams. How you doing? Yeah. The whole thing was a clusterfuck from the beginning.
Pickett. Let's just keep saying that name.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett.
He's really picked up his career, hasn't he?
Yeah. What's he doing now? Costco?
Oh, Riesland is the other guy who's on the Orange and Brown podcast.
Isn't that a wine from like the Rhineland region?
No, he's got actually puts up some reasonable video. He does the video analysis. So,
he does the X's and O's, as they say.
Here's what he said. When you're a bad football team, you win on special teams, Riesland explained. They stink, and they're trying to win on special teams. That was really the only way they could do it, and it just killed them. Big kick return to start, and then a punt block. Crazy. They stink.
Was he talking about Tennessee? Or which team is he talking about there?
The only way that they could win
Okay, he is
was
talking
on
about
special
Tennessee,
teams.
that- Yeah.
And no, they don't stink nearly as badly as Kevin Stefanski's Cleveland Browns. Let's be clear about that. So, I'm going to be very happy when they let him go. And, I've been looking up, and I wanted to get into the whole psychological concept of narcissism, but, it's all on me. I mean, I think the word me is used in a Kevin Stefanski short 12-minute press conference or 7-minute press conference more than any other word. And it's always I. And finally, when they said, did you, for the second time, they asked him twice, and I've never heard that either. Did Tommy or you call that play?
Yeah, they made him say that twice.
That's
Absolutely.
right. And Jimmy's like, woo, make him say it a third time. Woo!
I got the dirt on him now. I can fire him.
Now I got justification. Woo! So there you have it.
Yeah, they're
so
hyenas.
And so until they ask him the question, and he finally comes right out and he says, I call all the plays.
Damn it. You can't handle the truth. It is. It's
Exactly.
It is almost like A Few Good Men with Jack Nicholson being cornered by Tom Cruise. But instead, it's the farce of Cleveland.com cornering Kevin Stefanski. It's not even as dramatic as A Few Good Men, Of course, Kevin ordered the code red.
Other organizations better take a long look at this press conference, because if you want to see a guy kind of melt down up there with his darting eyes darting around the room, and finally,
help me.
It's just
he was looking for Topaz to pull him out of there. Topaz, come here, pull me out of here.
Well, you know what it's like? It's like a fat guy like me being on a diet for like 6 months.
Oh God!
And losing like 25 pounds, right?
Right.
And somebody would come up to me and say, God, you must be feeling so much better. And I would say, I want a baby Ruth. I want a baby Ruth.
Right. I'm dying. Yeah.
I mean, he cracked. I call all the plays. You stupid fuck. Hadn't you figured that out? You're a goddamn cabbage head.
They need to make a dramatic movie about this episode, this era of the Browns, because I think it'd be hilarious. In 20 years' time, when all the guilty people are dead.
It will be good news for me if at the end of the year they just let him go, and you can go ahead and sell me the bullshit, about how next year is going to be better.
Yeah.
And I'm fine, but you can't bring him back and have me on the list. I'm sorry, I can't do it,
or any of us really.
I mean, I got a life, and I can't. It's like going around in circles. It's like poor Topaz chasing his tail.
Yeah.
And I resemble that, and I don't. It's not that I get joy out of anybody getting fired.
No,
but it gives me a sense that something is at least being paid attention to by the organization in a business sense, that this guy is a total narcissist, and it's me, and it's, he wanted Dylan Gabriel. It was him.
Yeah.
I mean, it had nothing to do with anything else except that's my decision, and my decision's final. And it's the same thing as, we're going to run that Wildcat play. And I'm telling you that, Tommy. And I'm telling you, if we get near the end zone, I'm running that play. If we get into the end zone, I'm running that play.
You know what I find sad about all this, and now I'll lift the Moose character for a second here. What I find sad about all this is that Kevin only wanted to win with Kevin's way. Kevin just didn't just want to win. He wanted to win how he wanted to win. And if he couldn't win the way Kevin wanted to win, then we were not going to win. And that is apparently what the case is.
I wish I knew the time. Mohio is saying, or Mohio, sorry. I thought he was implying
Ohio.
that he approved the plays. Did he really say he calls the plays? Can I run this again? And maybe I can get lucky and find it. Yes. He
the
came
answer.
pretty much unglued. And let's go back into sharing mode and see where we're at on this, and I'll run it a little while.
Something that we hang our hat on.
Kevin, another special teams blunder. How do you keep believing in Bubba?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that type of stuff, Jeff. We have to play better. We have to coach better.
Believing in Bubba.
Bottom line.
Ethan, was it an Achilles?
Yes.
You know,
you don't know till you get the testing, but didn't look good.
instead concussion?
Yes.
Kevin, is this the kind of game where, just how do you explain all of the mistakes just across the board from so many different phases of your game against a 1-11 football team?
Yeah, I think you go into any game versus anybody, Mary Kay, you have to play your best. You have to execute in the time when it's time to execute. It's our job as coaches to put our guys in position, and we came up short, bottom line.
Is the reason you didn't use Shador on the 2-point play was because he fumbled the first one?
No.
How soon did you know that you were going to go Wildcat for that 2-point?
Yeah, it was, during the week, you talk about 2-point plays in total, plays that you like in those moments. And obviously, the first one we didn't get off exactly how we wanted to. The second one didn't get off how we wanted to.
But like as the drive was going down, you already had in your mind that you were going to that specific play.
Yes.
Could you explain the decision to not kick on that first one?
Yeah, it's something that we've done in the past. I know you see it around the league. The idea of being you get the 2, you know what you're doing at the next one, but something we've done before.
I know you talked about the rookies play up and down, but on that interception, it's as simple
I think
as
I passed it. I'm going to go back and I'm going to find this.
Built to do. It's not what we're about. We'll look at all of it again. It's things that we'll make sure we point it out and fix it. But give them credit. But that's something that we hang our hat on.
Kevin, another special teams blunder.
We got to go.
2-point play. Got to the second.
Go back earlier, I think.
It's on me.
Was that play call yours or Thomas?
I'm responsible for all of it.
He made the call.
He made the call. I mean,
he's responsible for it. What more do you need? I mean, it's like if Tommy Rees says we're not going to run that fucking play.
Yeah, if Tommy Rees stood up and said you're full of shit, we're not going to run that. We need to kick the extra point.
Yep.
And then what you'd love to have would be the actual headset tape of what was going on between the booth and Stefanski. I don't know whether they archive any of that, but imagine if that came out, an archived tape of a team's headset during a game. You can see how awful the game management of this organization is,
Yeah. And again, I'm responsible for it all. He can't. It's just about him.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
I was just about to say that.
If Sam Rutigliano were sitting next to me, he would just be cringing. He'd be cringing.
Sam was a good person. Now that's the
good
difference.
man. A
That's
good
the
man.
fucking difference. Good people want to win regardless. They don't want to win their own way. They just want to win.
Hey, imagine the Browns in 3-14, and he just goes off in the press conference at the end of the word. You want me on that wall? You need me on that wall. Deep
Yeah, I
down
know.
inside, you ain't gonna do it, boy.
Well, what I would say about Sam was that when Charles White was selected,
Oh no.
Sam cared more about that the guy kicked drugs than he did whether he's going to be a star football player.
Yeah, he tried to help him. You know, unlike Earl Bruce, who got people into gambling, but that's another story.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the difference between approaches, I guess. And we have some really good young players. We need a nurturer in here who is not like, I mean, you can be somewhat dictatorial as a head coach. You have to put your foot down.
Well,
But
absolutely.
you can be persuasive with people and you can be delegatory. That doesn't mean that you have to be authoritarian. I mean, it's just, I'll give you an example. If you were the ruler of a country, well, and we're not going to name a country, and you have an approach, and your approach, one ruler would say, this is a parliamentary kind of thing, so I'm going to really take into account what the parliament says about it. And the other guy says, fuck the parliament, and what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we get as many people in the parliament who are on our side, and then, well, they'll just do whatever I say and we'll ram it on through. And
Exactly.
that's the difference of what we're talking about. Now, if you prove that you can win that way, it was like Vince Lombardi back when the NFL was in its infancy. Vince Lombardi could do what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
He made Bart Starr cry.
Which is hard to believe, but he did.
Yeah, but it's true. He made his life miserable, and he just beat. And what do you think? Where do you think Forrest Gregg, when he coached the Browns and the Bengals, where do you think he got that from? He thought that was the right way to do things, and that's sad.
Verbally and well, the whole Woody Hayes thing. My God.
Somewhere there is an area between.
Being firm and being fair and being authoritative.
I was going to use names. There's something somewhere in between being Kevin Stefanski and being Kenny Atkinson. Kevin says, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, and we're going to be a short passing team with 3 tight ends. That's the way it's going to be. Kenny Atkinson sits down with DeAndre Hunter and says, so do you want to be a starter or do you want to be the first guy off the bench? There's got to be something in between those two things, because people will think they can walk over you, and that's not what you want. Or if you're talking about the previous coach of the Cavaliers, things are rosy right now in Detroit, but I'll tell you, they won't be long.
Yeah.
Where they dropping dead because of the minutes they're playing. The same thing that has followed JB Bickerstaff his whole coaching career will continue to follow him, because he has a methodology, and that is an old style offense. And the good thing is he gets his guys pumped up to be somewhat aggressive, but the bad part is they all want to leave him in the end.
Yeah, they're all injured by the time of the thing. And then there's Byron Scott. We've seen so many examples in Cleveland of weird coaches or dictatorial coaches or players coaches, or we've had the whole spectrum between the Indians and the Guardians and the Cavs and the Browns.
I want to ask a question. Mohio, you're very welcome. How many live programs would stop a program to answer an important question and try to search for that answer for a viewer? How many would actually listen to somebody? That's what's missing. The personal point of all of this is that we're trying to figure out why.
We're trying to find the truth.
You
And we handle
the
the truth. Exactly. Thank
Oh,
you.
God.
I'm here all week. No, but
So-
we are. That's what we're not here because we're paid. We're here because we want to see the team win, and we're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
And and when you read the headlines, the Cavaliers face a playoff decision at small forward, and Jalen Tyson is forcing the conversation.
Oh,
It's like here and yeah, guess what's going to happen. But
it's all bullshit. It's all propaganda, even for them.
Jalen Tyson has played wonderfully this year, and he should be starting. And DeAndre Hunter should be coming off the bench, 6-man style, which he's proven to be effective in. He's really good at using his offensive arsenal against bench players, second string players, and he can come in later in a game and come back in the fourth quarter
and be
he
fresher.
And but he is not a defensive player. He's
No.
been exposed this year because he's not physical enough, and his shot has gone to hell because he would feel much easier on the court, and he has to get this through his head because ego doesn't want to be sixth man.
Exactly. You want to win, not be the player who loses.
Look, the guy who's going to take the important shot is Donovan Mitchell.
Invariably, yeah.
That's established. You put DeAndre and Donovan Mitchell on the same court at the same time, and you're going to have some problems. And you notice that the quality of three-point shots and rushed shots that DeAndre Hunter is taking is because he wants to get some volume of shooting because he scores points. He is an 18-point player off the bench for the Hawks. So that's what he's doing, but it's ruining the flow of the first unit. It's just, and Jalen Tyson, on the other hand, is a guy who is bringing it and is working hard, but he isn't necessarily a guy that you want on the court at absolute crunch time. And I'll go back and point out in the history of who started for the Cavaliers, when you had, guys like Ira Newble starting, or if you had guys like Sanders who was starting, and I'm going way back. And they weren't the people who were going to be on the floor at the most critical moments of the game, but they gave you a defensive lift to begin the game. And so, and in today's NBA, when they go up and down the floor and up and down the floor, it's important to keep yourself in games. You can be down 15, 16 points in a heartbeat. So the playoff decision for the Cavaliers is whether the players really want this or not. And I'm afraid that they don't have it in them. And they don't want to have it in them.
Well,
and
I hope you're not right, but the eye test says otherwise. So
I
don't know. I was absolutely fuming yesterday, and I think I went over the vulgar edge myself.
I walked away. Away because it's obvious when somebody is just not putting out and not trying, and the whole team looked like they were really down in the mouth, and they were just that
was a terrible Warriors team too. I mean, the game was like 13-10, like the Ohio State game, but it was like 10 minutes of basketball. They'd only scored 20 points between them.
But they should have easily at home been able to come back and win that game. Now, I don't mean at the last minute, but they should have just been able to slowly overwhelm them. Yeah. But they lost all their confidence, and that's the problem with the Cavaliers. They don't have confidence. The reason you have to get rid of Kevin Stefanski is because you've got the Schwezingers and you've got the players who are hungry. You got the Denzel Wards who are hungry. You got Miles who's still hungry,
who can be hungry,
but bewildered, absolutely bewildered. You've got Grant Delpit, who has really become a good football player.
Okay, I got a theory about yesterday's game. Now, the fact that you saw Delpit flash a lot on these blitzes is probably why the running defense wasn't as good as it had normally been. So I think Schwartz tweaked the defense so that there were blitzes going against Cam Ward,
Yep.
and then that left the Pollard, who's really sort of a mediocre back, the opportunity to break big runs and get 180 yards.
But I
or
think
whatever
Miles
he
was
got.
continuing to just all out go after the quarterback and wasn't playing his gap.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that at all, but I think the
Right.
factor was the defense looked changed to me, and you never saw Del Pitt like blitz, on successive series. He must have had about 4 or 5. I'd have to go back and look at the tape, but there was a reason why they gave up all those yards yesterday.
Yeah, and it's hard to imagine that you would go, and give up. I mean, I would think you'd want to take the ground game away from them so you would force the rookie to beat you.
It's all a matter of opinion, and you'd think professionals that do that for a living would know a lot more than I would.
And you got a
so-
snowy
you know,
day, a cold, snowy
Yep.
day, and you would figure that would be the case. But so be it. I was wondering why in the hell the Titans were allowing Shedeur to go back, with the shotgun formation and move up into the pocket and start. It was like neither team really knew how to win. Let's be honest about that.
Well, Shedeur, let's be honest, had a better game yesterday. This is why comparisons of other quarterbacks on their teams mean absolute
It's
shit,
invalid.
Because I could
invalid.
actually say that Shedeur statistically had a better game than fucking Baker Mayfield, Cam Ward, and Joe fucking Burrow yesterday, and Patrick Mahomes. But
Well,
would
but
you,
but,
who
but it
would
was
you rather have as your quarterback?
It was Mary Kay Cabbagehead who said the real point of this game is to see whether Shedeur could, and how he
I know,
stacks up against the number 1 pick in the draft. Well,
That's
now you have
absolute
your
nonsense.
answer.
Yeah,
So why don't you come out and just say, man, I was just wrong about this shit.
exactly.
I mean, you walk down a dark alley and now you deserve to get mugged. That's what it amounts to. You got to come clean with your audience. And look, there are on many occasions over 24 years that I've just said something. It's like, wow, that just turned out to be not the case.
I say stupid shit every time I'm on the program. So
Yeah, so do I.
So I mean, we all are passionate about what we do.
Tony never says stupid shit though, do
Nope,
you, Tony?
Right. And now they're saying in the headlines, they're questioning, did Guardians Emmanuel Clase throw 2024 playoffs for gamblers?
Yeah.
Well, he was terrible.
He was, wasn't he?
And you wonder
Throwing batting practice to Aaron
what happened
Judge.
to him,
Yeah.
But you see, the second somebody is, not honest about something, you're going to question him in 100 different ways.
But yeah, that thing about Mary Kay comparing quarterbacks was really crucial mistake on her part to actually even bring that shit up, because it doesn't mean anything. You're comparing things that can't be compared against each other.
2 different teams, 2 different circumstances, two different
games,
offensive
different
schemes,
opponents, different stadiums, different weather.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, and this is again comes down to what I talk about integrity, which is just lacking. It's lacking in our society,
Everywhere.
to be quite
it's
honest.
Lacking all over the world. It's not just America, my friend.
Right.
Everywhere.
Notre Dame athletic director rips the ACC, saying permanent damage has been done. All right. The AD, Pete Bavacqua from Notre Dame, he unloaded on the ACC conference, right?
As he should.
In the wake of Sunday's college football playoff snub. No, not when you hear the story. You won't believe that. So Bavacqua was on the Dan Patrick show, and, on Monday, and he has great respect for Miami, Alabama, and all the teams that stated their cases for inclusion into the college football playoffs. Bavacqua was upset with how the ACC pushed for Miami over Notre Dame leading up to the selections. Now,
wow.
Quote, we were mystified by the actions of the conference to attack their biggest, really partner in football and a member of their conference in 24 of our other sports. Now, take this and put it into your head.
Okay.
Notre Dame has 24 sports that are affiliated with the ACC, but it was their decision to stay out of the ACC and remain an independent. You know why?
More money.
Greed. So you can't complain about this
Exactly.
now.
Yeah.
Not only that, they could play Mickey Mouse teams, you know.
Yeah, the
They-
Notre Dame
yeah.
Broadcasting Company. Absolutely.
And you complain about something like this after you play the Air Force and Army and Navy or whoever the fuck they're playing these days.
Lehigh. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
The Citadel.
Yeah, they had a weak schedule outside of Miami. They didn't really play anybody.
Oh,
you
it's
know, it's
filth, isn't it?
and what he's referring to, the ACC's official account posted on X a side-by-side comparison of Miami and Notre Dame, accompanied by the text, "No hypotheticals, just facts." They beat
Wow.
Notre Dame heads up, man, against one another 27-24 in the beginning of the season. A game that Miami never trailed the entire game. They ended up with a 10-2 identical record.
Well, there you
And
go.
so, you know, we're going to take our 24 insignificant sports like our girls hockey team, and we're going to
the
pull them out
archery
of the
team,
ACC. You know, and
the
you know what this
shooting
is?
team.
We're going to put a tariff on you. That's what this is. It's like this stupid threats. It's like if you were committed to the ACC, Notre Dame, your football program would be part of the ACC and elevating the ACC, but you wouldn't do it. You got your own TV network. Thank you, Amsterdam.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and they got a locked-in contract with NBC too for like 10 years, worth I think over $1 billion. So,
But yeah, and that's what it's all about.
it-
Everybody becomes so self-righteous.
but here's the thing though. Instead of them pressing the issue for how Miami got in, they should have been pressing the issue for how Alabama should not be in. That's what they should have been saying. Hey, they got 3 losses. They never moved down. We still stayed in the top. Why are they still ranked? And why are they still 9?
Well, we could talk
Just food
about
for
this
thought.
a lot. Yeah.
They should be pressing the issue for why Bama's in with 3 losses and did not move down.
No, they're not. Notre Dame is complaining about the ACC, and because they're butthurt because
Yeah,
the
it's-
ACC wanted to put its own football school into the CFP instead of a
Notre
school
Dame.
that refuses to join the ACC.
Well, they could be in the ACC for fencing, or they could be
Right.
in it, or indoor track and field, or swimming and diving, or beach volleyball, or lacrosse, or water polo, or tennis, or soccer, as they call it in America.
A year ago, nobody at Notre Dame had a problem. You see,
Exactly.
when 10-2 Miami was snubbed by the CFP committee, nobody
raised a finger.
because you know what the hell, you know, Notre Dame, we made it, and they had absolutely nothing to say to heal the wound of the ACC school.
You're actually making a very good point as far as if Notre Dame were allowed in last year, then it's Miami's turn this year. Has anybody publicly actually come out and said that?
Well, I mean, but it isn't about fairness even.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Mario Cristobal, who's coach at Miami, he spent 4 seasons under Nick Saban, not literally under him. I hope that would be like sweaty
He probably
balls.
did.
Sweaty balls. But when thinking about the college football playoff, one of Saban's quotes from Cristobal's time there as an assistant stood out with him. This is the quote that Saban had: "If you want to make everybody happy, don't coach and don't coach and get involved in football. Go sell ice cream because the ice cream man makes everybody happy. In football, not everybody's going to be happy." It comes down to business. It just comes down to business. And Notre Dame hasn't been a factor in football, in college football, for so long.
It's like 1966, I would say.
They have a huge audience of people who support that university. Yeah.
The last time they had notoriety, Rudy.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh, I mean, when they used to play USC, when USC had O.J. Simpson and all those great quarterbacks that they had out there. That was
Hey, Moo, here's a better one. That was Hey,
one that
Moo, here's a
was
better
relevant.
one. Instead of Rudy, imagine if Justin Gabriel was in there, or no, Corey Dylan was in there.
God.
They're like, no, not that Rudy. We don't want you. You're not that Rudy.
They're carrying Dylan off the field, but we can't see him.
He's like Clark Kent behind there, but it's a little midget. He's like, come on, guys, just like Rudy, cheer for me. And all the Browns are like, not that type of Rudy.
I'm running overtime here, so I want to get going and take my wife to dinner.
Can I make a
Okay,
really
Moo,
quick
before
point?
we close out, I wanted to ask you guys a question about Notre Dame. Do you think them getting snubbed is going to put the pressure on them to join the ACC next year?
No.
Or do you think this will just be just
no, they can't give up that money. Nope.
No, they won't do that. What I wanted to say is that, and this is not an original idea, I read this from somebody else on social media, is that the NCAA should not call this a playoff. It's basically an invitational tournament.
Yes.
It is not a playoff. It is an invitational tournament.
Have you guys seen the bracket? It looks horrible. It looks like a high school, like middle school bracket.
It's like an OHSSA, Ohio High School Association.
I just took one look
bracket.
and I was like, I don't even know if I want to watch it.
It's an invitational, not a playoff, people.
And again, when I say how hard it is for people to turn the ship around, and the Browns are going to have all kinds of trouble. The Commanders lost to the Vikings 31-0. Jaden Daniels came back to go 9 for 20 for 78 yards.
Yep. Yeah, but how do you judge him? I mean, again, like, is he shit now? I mean,
you can't go from being a lousy organization for all those years with Daniel Snyder and suddenly turn this thing around.
Correct.
It was amazing they did what they did in that first year, but it takes a building of a franchise. It takes time.
Yeah.
And you got to start by making a few right decisions and looking at, at the Buccaneers. Buccaneers lost to the fucking 3-10 thing.
Did Baker play yesterday?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Holy shit!
He certainly did.
That's even worse.
Oh, well, I'll share this with you. He was 14 of 30 for 122 yards. Yes, there was a storm.
22 yards.
But the fact of the matter is didn't get it done. The team didn't get it done. He didn't put the points on the board, and they lost to the Saints. So that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, but does that mean he's a shitty quarterback? No.
No,
it doesn't mean that. So people comparing shit need to stop.
What I'll tell you is that Tampa Bay is a 500 team.
Correct.
And that Baker Mayfield is the starting quarterback for a 500 team.
But it makes it interesting to see if the Panthers can catch them. Maybe they could and take the division.
The one thing about Baker Mayfield, if he wakes up feeling dangerous, it can be really fun watching him. He's like a player on a basketball court who just is like do you remember Vinnie Johnson, the microwave for the Pistons?
God,
yeah. I mean, he could come off the bench. He would just heat it up, man. People like that are fun to watch, but they're not game to game going to be like the star players,
Yeah, the league is a better place with Baker Mayfield in it. God damn it,
And I have never had anything against him. And when the time came that I stated right after, on January the 4th of 2022 that he was done and finished. And I'm saying today that Kevin Stefanski's done and finished in Cleveland. So it's only fair that it goes down this way. Last thing I wanted to bring up here is, I don't sit here and, I have opinions and, and I don't go back and say every single time, I'm right. I was right about this. I was right about this. But how'd you like overrated?
Oh, Lamar. Yeah.
Yeah. Lamar goes 19 of 35 for 219 yards and loses to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
The Pirates got helped yesterday, though, man.
The referees handed it to Pitt, but they will.
Way
it's always been.
We need Maniac to say,
it's like constant craving.
Yeah.
It's always been.
Yep. The refs totally screwed the Ravens. I think anybody who saw those plays involved, and there were
Yeah.
several.
Hey, I didn't see them. Could y'all say what plays they were? I didn't get a chance to see it.
Oh, there was
Oh,
one
the
where
one was the
Rodgers.
touchdown pass.
That was a touchdown. The other one was Aaron Rodgers being allowed to keep possession of a ball that got batted up in the air, and
Yeah,
the Ravens took it away
he
from him.
what got batted up in the air. You couldn't see what happened. It kind of,
Yeah.
and they said that Aaron Rodgers caught it. Like the
It was like the tuck
42-year-old
rule.
man was gonna.
Yeah.
But then, the Ravens completed they would have gone up by a point.
Yeah,
with the
they
touchdown.
overcame that one.
Yeah, but Lamar Jackson threw the touchdown pass, and the guy caught it and got 2 feet down, and then the guy knocked it out of his hands from behind in the end zone, and they said, well, there's the 3-foot rule. Like, who in the fuck has 3 feet? And it's like, well, you got to get the left down, the right down, and then that extra step.
The hokey cokey.
He's
he's
over the goal line and has possession of the ball.
Yeah.
It's like, but there you have it. The Steelers always, if they can do it to you, they'll do it to you.
You know, I've seen the referees purposely have conversations with Aaron Rodgers, like coming off a timeout or in between plays, and allow the play clock to extend. And I'm like, or the play clock will go to 0 and he'll be in shotgun, and the refs never call delay a game. They allow him to go 2-3 seconds over.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's what you have is what it was. But if Lamar Jackson is as great as people say,
he'd be able
it shouldn't have been very difficult at home to defeat a 42-year-old quarterback on a fucking Pittsburgh poor team. That shouldn't, and again, just shows how weak our division is anyway.
Yeah, and the first round started today. Pittsburgh would host Buffalo, which is another struggling team. Steelers could actually win that game.
Nah.
You think Buffalo will go in and take it?
Yes. Yeah. Pittsburgh sucks. I got to get out of here, guys.
You get out of here because you started early.
Hey, Angle, I know you're about to head out of here, but what are you going to do? I'm just curious. Curiosity killed the cat. You said you're taking your wife out to eat?
Yep.
No, like, is it a famous restaurant? Like what kind of food is it?
Oh, no. It's sushi.
Oh, I love sushi.
Yeah.
Like cooked sushi or raw sushi?
No, cooked.
Sushi is sushi.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's also got a bunch of Chinese food. They have a buffet and the buffet and a sushi buffet.
Dude, that's badass.
Oh, it is badass.
Is this senior hour? Is that why you have to leave?
Gotta go now to get my senior discount. No, they have a senior discount for me all the time. They see my crooked up back and they feel bad for me.
All the time, Lou?
Huh?
You go to this place often, like this restaurant often?
Well, every so often, yeah.
Would you recommend it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you it's the best sushi I've had in my life, but if you have friends visiting you from somewhere and they're wanting to come to Florida, they'll be able to find their favorite Chinese dish. They have a salad bar. They have the sushi. They have peel and eat shrimp. They got everything on it. So you're gonna find what you're looking for. Is what.
And so you get what you pay for.
In the back of the place, they have hibachi as well, where they'll fresh make hibachi for you.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So
you go way in the back.
They have like meat and chicken and all that,
different proteins. Yep.
Yes.
And if you go way in the back, they have a poker game going on. But anyway, that's another topic.
I think Steven's getting a Woody here, so I got to get out of here. Thanks, everybody, for tuning into this edition of Moohead Radio. I certainly hope that this clarifies some things about why I do this program and why I throw shade on some of these programs that just don't seem to get it. We'll be back again at the end of the week on Friday to do more Moohead Radio. Until then, hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. Good night.
No.
Boom.